Hey, I'm Joe Neerman. People call me GoodLawgic. That's because I have a YouTube channel that's named GoodLawgic, spelled G-O-O-D, new word, L-A-W-G-I-C. You are watching Attorney Reacts, and today we are going to be watching a video from Americans Against Police Oppression, from a video that's dated March 27, 2023. Let's kick it.
Hello, can I help you?
Hi.
Sir, can I help you?
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, this is our traffic stop right now, so I'm just going to ask you to...
Ask her to what? What? Can't hear you. What?
Okay.
Thank you. You just asked me to leave.
Before we go any further, I just want to point this out to you. I can understand why police officers don't really like being filmed. If you think about it, it's their job, and you're basically watching their performance on the job, and they know that they're being scrutinized. So they don't want to be filmed, but you have a First American right to film them. That is part of our freedom of press. And believe it or not, you're part of the press. I'm part of the press. We are all part of the press. Anyone can film police officers as long as you're not interfering with their duties and you're working and examining things in a publicly accessible area. But if you're in a publicly accessible area, which this certainly seems to qualify as a publicly accessible area, and you're not intruding on their work, you have a right to film them. You can see how unsettling this officer seems to find it.
Do you know this person?
Since you're making contact with me, could you identify your name and badge number?
I'm Officer Albie.
And your badge number, please?
I don't even know why you're here right now.
I asked you a direct question. Do you have your badge number on
And
you?
I asked you to leave because right now you're not allowed to be on our traffic stop.
Ma'am, if you're refusing to identify your badge number, it might result in a complaint with your department.
Okay, I understand that. My badge number is 6.
That's an interesting question, whether he has a right to compel her to turn over the badge number. It's not as if she's doing anything more than just having an exchange with him. He's asserting that he has a legal right to get her name and badge number as a result of her talking to him in what certainly seems to be, I guess, an official capacity. Okay, perhaps that could be a policy of the department, that if you engage someone, as far as that being a legal requirement of the police, that they provide a name and badge number. I'm not familiar with anything that would support that. But sometimes if you ask a question, you say, that's a direct question, I'm going to file a complaint. A lot of people just don't want to deal with that hassle.
39.
Thank you very much.
But I've asked you a question.
At this time, it's not consensual. Thank you.
You're on my traffic stop.
Ma'am, I'm an appropriate distance from your traffic stop. Please go back to work.
Okay, but if something were
Ma'am, go back to work. Go back to work.
Then that would fall in our department.
No.
Liar. You're an idiot.
If you were to get harmed right now, how would that...
You're a idiot liar.
He's not under your
Now do
care.
your job.
How is he your responsibility? That bothers me because she's basically trying to mislead him as if like she's interested in protecting him. She's not about protecting him. She's looking to protect herself.
What's going on, man? Can we help you? What's going on? Can we help you with anything? Do you have any business to conduct here right now?
He doesn't need to be conducting business.
Can you take your hand out your pocket for me, please?
Since you're engaging with me, can I get you?
Now, when he's asking him to take his hand out of his pocket, that's a reasonable request because for all he knows, this is some person who's armed and has a weapon in their pocket. So he's asking him to take his hand out of his pocket. That seems to be a reasonable request by the police officer. And now he's about to ask him, you can tell from his name and badge number. But you don't need to have official business. You don't need to be part of some news agency. You could just be any random human being. As long as you're breathing, you got your First Amendment rights.
Your name and badge number?
My name is Officer Robinson, badge number 659.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Is there a reason why you're walking into our traffic stop here?
I'm not in your traffic stop. I'm well within a reasonable distance. Thank you.
Okay, well,
Carry on with your work, sir. Get back to work.
If you want to be at a reasonable distance,
Get back with your work, sir.
On a public sidewalk right here behind the vehicles.
Did somebody complain to you, sir?
No, I didn't.
Have a great day, sir. Thank you.
Can you step back behind the vehicle for me?
Is that a lawful request?
It is a lawful request. It's a public sidewalk. You can stand right there. All you want to record.
Is it a command or a request?
Stand back to actually commit, man. I need you to step back there behind those people behind the table for me, okay?
I'll step over here for you.
So now we get into the whole area of a command versus a request. The request obviously is what it implies. It's just, I'm asking you to do this for me, but you don't have to. A command seems to be as if the officer is asserting authority, which is why he wanted to get that question out of him. He wanted to draw that line from him. Are you actually making a command that I must step back? Now, if this is your deal, I do recommend that you certainly don't act in a hostile way to police officers. And I think that there's a good thing in holding police accountable. Let them know they're being scrutinized. There's no reason that we shouldn't. Quite the contrary. It just helps better ensure that they're going to be following proper procedure. All right. Not much happening. This does seem like a long traffic stop, doesn't it, though? 2 police cars there. What this guy?
How you doing, man?
Just to help me, you have a right to record everything. We just need you a little further away from the scene.
Why?
Do you remember what the Supreme Court ruled as far as the distance?
What the Supreme Court ruled?
Remember what it was?
You don't know?
Well, anything that we deem as unsafe.
Okay, that's false. Have a good day, sir.
It's actually.
Thank you, sir.
He's going to research it. He said it's actually standard is anything that's a reasonably safe distance, but he's nitpicking him on that a little bit. I guess he's technically correct. It's not anything that any police officer deems to be safe, because that could just basically be 1,000 yards if they wanted.
I have the answer, by the way.
But just know if you get too close to a scene, you can't get arrested.
Hey, man, they would have arrested me already, man. Have a good one.
I'm just letting you know.
Have a good one. Have a good one. One strike.
One strike. I don't know. Looks like he's getting a little closer. I think he's eavesdropping.
Poor guy's been waiting for like 30 minutes. They're beyond their reasonable time.
So that's an interesting point, because in Rodriguez versus United States, Supreme Court said that the police are not allowed to hold you at a traffic stop for any length of time longer than needed to investigate the offense which led to them pulling you over. That's considered a violation of Fourth Amendment rights and potentially Fifth Amendment rights of taking.
How are you today?
They do not like him being there.
They don't like you to record.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, and they had a 5th car here as well, but that one left.
It's like they think they got Manson there in that truck. And again, they're not allowed to be conducting a whole criminal investigation on this guy. That's exactly what Rodriguez versus the United States said. So what is happening here?
I guess I come stand by you since kind of out of place here.
No more out of place than having a 4th police officer there.
From death?
He has no obligation to answer questions.
A lot of traffic stops.
What's your name and your badge number? Just answer it, man.
I don't have to, but I will because
It's your policy.
it's actually not our policy.
It's not?
No, it's not.
You don't think it's professional to identify to
I'm going
people?
to.
Okay.
My name is Officer Love.
Love?
Yeah, my badge number is right there, 619.
60. Thank you, sir.
I'll just point out to you, as far as an obligation from the police to identify themselves, I'm unaware by either their name and or badge number. I'm unaware of any civil rights claim that you have that once an officer engages you, they're obligated to identify themselves to you. However, I think that when you have someone in your face there where the camera is saying, just answer it, and in that threatening tone, I'm not surprised that the police officer caved. Also, there could be a policy, which they're disputing whether or not there is a policy. And if there's a policy in place for the police officer to follow, in that case, he would have to follow that, obviously.
Not that you needed to do that. I mean, the only level.
Hey, man, just show some professionalism. We'll all be good, all right? Thank you.
Conversation with man. What's your name?
Yeah, he's not giving you his name. Come on. He ain't giving his name.
You just giving them a warning? You just giving them a warning?
We'll take this back. Yes.
when you drive with a suspended license. But I'm not going to take him to jail for it. Just give him a ticket. That way he can go to the court.
Well, we appreciate that, man. We appreciate that. We don't need more of our people in these jails.
Where'd you get your coat from? Just asking. I'm afraid I can't go myself.
If you drive with a suspended license, you can end up in jail. And obviously, licenses can be suspended for any of a myriad of reasons. The policy was rarely enforced. If you look back decades ago, in the 1990s or so is when they really started, various cities started cracking down on it more when there were accidents which involved fatalities, and some people had literally 100 suspensions on their licenses. And that's when America started shifting towards taking that more seriously and throwing people in jail.
They're coming back south.
How long has he been sitting here?
Well, the situation that we ran into is that I forgot that in my vehicle, I don't have a working printer. So we ran into a scenario where I got a fine. I tried to send it to her. Her printer's not working, so now I got to try to send it to her. So the clerk can get the printer. Now the quick is gone. I just don't have a working printer right now, so it's not being prolonged. I just don't have a working printer.
Okay, cool.
So that seems to be a reasonable explanation as to why it is that he's being held there that long. They're having obviously technical issues where the printer in this cop's car wasn't working, and that was not working in the second cop's car. And these technical malfunctions doesn't seem as if they're intentionally trying to keep him there for an excessively long period of time.
Looks like he's coming back with it right now, though, so we can get this.
You know, in this day and age, we got to appreciate citizens recording police in their interactions, right?
And that's what the Supreme Court has routinely held. That and as have many appellate courts across the country. It's very important to allow citizens to record police officer in order to keep them in check, to make sure that they're following proper procedures and not trampling over people's civil rights.
You get back on the sidewalk, please.
Is this, what is this?
This is the road. Okay. Do you have no business being that close to the officer while he's conducting a crime?
Shit's done. The traffic stop is done. The traffic stop is done.
It's over. Why are they throwing at him now? Why? Why are they doing that now? It's all over. He's sitting here trying to talk to him. It's like, you weren't going to be my friend. Since you weren't my friend, you didn't want to talk to me. You didn't want to interact with me. Now I'm going to be mean to you. It's like the whole traffic stop is over now. You know he's about to walk away as soon as everyone pulls away. Why? This is just it's so weird to me. I don't get it.
Is this traffic stop over?
That police officer back in his car yet?
I'm asking you a question.
I asked you a question.
He's pulling off. Is it over? You said it's the police officer going back in his car. That doesn't have anything to do with this guy leaving and the traffic stop being over. Thank you. Have a good day. Get back to work. Thank you.
Officer Love there was losing at the end. I don't know why. He mad. He's like, he didn't take my number. Nothing. He feels so rejected.
This guy, man. This is one of the tyrants out here. This guy.
Officer Love. Officer Love, holding back.
And make sure we always record the police because they don't like it at all. They don't like to be seen bullying others.
Until the last 60 seconds or so, I thought that the police actually handled themselves relatively professionally. There was a little skittishness at first when he came up and they were trying to figure out, why is he here? What's he about? And the first cop that he interacted with, I think she seemed a little defensive and tried getting him to push back, but they let him stand there relatively in the same spot throughout the entire traffic stop. It seems as if that the reasons that they held the driver there as long as they had were because of technical deficiencies that they had and not because they were looking to run some sort of improper criminal investigation about the driver and other things that were unrelated to the traffic stop. So all that seemed all well and good. It was only at the end there that the officer, I believe identified himself as Officer Love, started all of a sudden just becoming a little bit snippy there and maybe say, why are you doing this? And I don't think that it's a traffic stop at that point anymore. Once they tell the driver that he's free to go, he's free to go. And this officer stepping up there saying, you can't film the cop while he's finishing off the traffic stop by talking to the driver, that's not accurate. You can film them. You have to be a reasonably safe distance away and not interfere with the police during their course of business. But what he was saying there was not accurate in my opinion. Those are my thoughts on the matter, but I really want to know your thoughts on it. Drop a comment down below. Let me know whether you think that the police overall here, scale of 1 to 10, I'd like to see you rate the police officers here. You can, if you want to split off the rating between that one cop and the others, that's fine. Scale of 1 to 10, how do you think the cops did here? Let me know. I check all the comments. Make sure, please, that you like, share, subscribe, and sign up to Attorney Reacts, one of the best channels you could possibly find anywhere on YouTube. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time.
Big verdict.